Most guys who find the red pill hold on to the belief that true happiness involves a relationship with a woman, and that's simply not true. Yes, if you train a woman correctly, she has the potential to elevate your life, but women are far from necessary for a man's overall commitment. So let us go ahead and discuss the 10 signs that you are purple pill beta masquerading as a red pill alpha. Sign number 1, you are non-confrontational. If you are non-confrontational, you are a coward. Listen, most people don't like confrontation, myself included. Believe it or not. Like, listen, you guys, I'm not afraid of confrontation. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean I like it. But just because I dislike confrontation doesn't mean that I don't realize that it is sometimes a necessary part of life. If I need to address a situation with a friend, a colleague, a woman, whoever, I never ever hesitate to do what needs to be done. Devin will tell you quick. If there's something on my mind, I don't wait until we're sitting at the dinner table later on. Well, honey, I don't like the, no. If she fucks up, if she gets out of pocket, I address it right then and there. Dev, come here for a second. You're out of fucking pocket, shape the fuck up or I'm home. That's the way that goes. No, I'm not the guy who looks for confrontation or looks for a fight, at least not anymore. But I don't shy away from it either, guys. But if your woman gets the idea that you are non-confrontational, she's going to lose respect for you and start to behave badly because she knows you're not going to confront and check her. And to keep it 100, the root of our non-confrontational culture stems from our comfortable lives, guys. In other words, nobody fights anymore. A man who's never been in a fight with another man is naturally going to be non-confrontational because he's afraid of the unknown. A man who's never verbally or physically, a man who's never verbally checked a female or physically checked a male isn't going to put a woman in her place, right? Like a man who's never verbally checked his female isn't going to be, like he's going to be non-confrontational with her because he's not sure what the response will be. A woman has to know that you are a man who will confront uncomfortable situations. If you're at a restaurant and she tells you that her steak is overcooked and you tell her to turn it around rather than call the waiter over and demand another steak, she knows you're a coward, guys. If your woman disrespects you in public and you don't pull her aside and tell her to cut the bullshit, she loses more respect for you. Your woman has to know that in any and all situations, you'll be the man who mans the up and says what needs to be said and does what needs to be done in order to rectify any and all situations. Women don't want to have to do these things, but if they're with a coward of a man, she'll end up doing the dirty work and eventually she'll leave him. Guys are like, oh my God, my wife or girlfriend is so masculine. Yeah, that's because you're not manning the fuck up. You're making her do all the dirty work. And if you're dating a woman and she figures out that you're a non-confrontational coward, she will end things before they start to get serious. The bottom line here, guys, is that women respect men who are unafraid to be direct with them and others. If you are not, you do not deserve her, period. Number 2, the second sign that you are a purple pill beta masquerading as a red pill alpha, you put too much responsibility on your woman. I'll tell you guys a quick story. A few years back, during my fledgling player years, I'm in Vegas, right? I was a single mom. And yes, listen, I know single moms are bad and this and that and the other, but we all got to start somewhere. Don't commit to them. Anyway, she had a 9-year-old daughter. And, I met the kid a few times and she actually seemed to be pretty well-mannered, and obedient. Didn't spend much time with the kid, but the short interactions I had with her, she seemed to be a pretty good kid. Well, one afternoon, she calls me, and she starts bitching about how she gave her kid $10 for a lunch at a summer camp. But rather than buy a sandwich, an apple, and the drink, the kid bought Sour Patch Kids, French fries, and a soda. Right? She was all upset. Oh, I've had conversations with her before about making good food choices. She told me all about how she was disappointed in her kid. I had to explain to this chick that her daughter is a 9-year-old kid and shouldn't be given that kind of responsibility. I said something to the effect of, listen, she's 9. What do you think she was going to buy, an organic kale salad and cucumber water? And she laughed. She said, listen, you're right. I never thought of it that way. The point is, guys, is that she was putting too much responsibility on her kid to make the right choice, which is a mistake. Kids want to be kids. They shouldn't be required to make decisions on their health or anything else important. They want to be kids. Guys, the same thing goes with women. As men, we are the bigger, faster, stronger, smarter sex. Okay? That's all there is to it. For this reason, your woman wants you to be a control freak, right? She wants you to make the plan. She wants you to decide on the restaurant. She wants you to decide what you're watching on TV and so on and so forth. As a man, you are the leader of the relationship. And as the leader, you must take responsibility for everything that goes on, which means making any and all decisions as it applies to you as a couple. There are many women out here who are the leaders of their respective relationships, and they're stressed out because that's not the natural state of a woman. Guys, I've been on plenty of vacations or weekend getaways and seen married couples where the woman looks like she's having the worst time of her life. Well, the reason for that is because she probably made all the plans. She set up the vacation. She booked the hotel. She made the reservations at the restaurants, which means she had to pick the restaurants, right? That takes more time. She had to make the car rental. She had to set everything up. She's miserable because she was indirectly given all the responsibility. Guys, women don't want responsibility. They want the accolades that come with it, but they are ill-equipped to accept and execute said responsibility. Be the captain of your ship and lead the relationship. Don't put any responsibility on her. Simply allow her to be a woman who is relaxed and along for the ride on your train. Number 3, you do not protect your woman from herself. Gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, in 2020, women are safer than they've ever been in history. If any harm were ever to befall one of them, it is a rarity indeed. Okay, there are laws set up to protect women from any and all perils of the outside world. The only protection she needs from you as a man is if she is in imminent physical danger, and even then, you'll seldom be required to step in and defend her person. That's how safe women are. That said, women need to be protected from themselves more than anything. Women are self-destructive by nature, gentlemen, and they pose a greater threat to themselves than anything else out there. If you are a man who does not know how to protect a woman from herself, she will self-destruct and she will take you with her if you are anywhere in her blast radius. I speak from personal experience. Protecting a woman from herself means one thing and one thing only: eliminating any and all activities or habits that are conducive or could lead to slutty behavior and or infidelity. Let me repeat that. Protecting a woman from herself means one thing and one thing only: eliminating any and all activities or habits that are conducive to or could lead to slutty behavior and or infidelity. Way back in episode 94, I had a podcast that listed 8 things that women should do to build ironclad trust with men of value in an effort to gain a long-term commitment from him. It is also sort of a de facto guide for men on how to keep tabs on your woman and make sure she is where she is and doing what she's doing, a double-edged sword of sorts. Most men don't have the balls to implement these techniques, guys, and most women would find it laughable to volunteer this level of transparency to a man. I'm talking about GPS on her phone, keyloggers on all of her devices, access to her phone, things of that nature. But like I said, if you want a good woman, you have to know how to protect her from herself and be unafraid to enforce these edicts. If you don't, it is only a matter of time before your woman steps out on you again because you didn't protect her from herself. Women only value what they are required to work for. And if you're ready to put a ring on it after just a few months, she'll see you as a male version and start looking elsewhere. Sign number 5. You are a purple pill beta masquerading as a red pill alpha. You're a closet simp. You're a closet white knight. So even though you watch my show, you're still secretly holding on to concepts like not all women are like that. That your woman should love me for me, or any other ridiculous notion that you claim to have seen the light on. No matter how well you think you hide it, guys, females will eventually sniff it out. And when that happens, and it will, she'll be gone before you can stick your dick in her. Women have positively zero respect for men who worship their vaginas or don't know or understand how to handle them. Renouncing your simphood verbally, that's one thing. It is quite another to actually do it in real life. Guys, I'm here to tell you. Women have a supernatural ability to detect even trace amounts of incongruity. If you're a closet simp, posing as a red pill aware male, guys, she will run circles around you until she decides she wants to go somebody else. Real can talk. You still believe you need to be in a long-term relationship to be happy. When I first met Devin, I was still living that fast Vegas lifestyle. I was doing blow with strippers every weekend, different girls every night, getting in fights, drinking too much, just doing wild shit all the time. The last thing on my mind when I met her was a long-term relationship. Okay? Now, Devin knew how to be a female, but she didn't really know how to be a woman. She didn't have her ears pierced. She didn't own a pair of heels. She didn't even own a pair of thongs. Her fingernails weren't even painted. Now, she was definitely f***able, as she has the body of a porn star. And if you guys don't believe me, you guys can check my social media feeds. So sex was really all I wanted out of her at the time. But the more time we spent together, the more I began to like her outside of sex. I used to tell her all the time, I like you as a person. She used to laugh at me. You mean you don't like me? What do you mean you like me as a person? Of course you do. Now she didn't get it. Devin, she was great company. She was kind. She was very generous. She was selfless. In other words, she appeared to have what it took to potentially be a quality woman. Don't mistake me, guys. Let me stop you right there before you guys start hurling accusations. She wasn't no unicorn, guys. Devin was no snowflake. And she is definitely not now. Like all women out there, she had some shit with her when I met her, and she still does. But 8 months after we met, we took a trip to Hawaii for a week, had a great vacation, and that's when things started to change. Now, before we went to Hawaii, she actually floated the idea of a relationship a couple times. The first time she did it, I told her, sweetheart, you do not want to be in a relationship with me. The second time she did it, we were in Phoenix for a layover before flying to the Big Island. Once again, I shot it down and I told her, look, it takes a lot more than what you're doing now to be in a relationship with me. She left it alone. Pardon me. A few weeks later, and this was after we had gotten back from Hawaii, she floated the idea of a relationship again. This time I asked her, pardon me, are you sure you want to do this? Right? She's like, yeah, I'm sure. I said, okay, I'm going to give you an example of what it's going to be like to be in a relationship with me. She said, okay, all right. So I said, unlock your phone and hand it to me right now. She just handed me her phone because there was no log on it. She didn't have a password on it. So I said, okay, that's a start, but you've still got some work to do. I told her, I don't date women who go to clubs or bars. She said, that's fine. I don't hang out with Kim much anyway since I met you. All right. Then I said, I don't date women who are on social media. She said, all right, I'll delete my Facebook and Twitter. She did it right there in front of me. So she was off to a good start and obviously serious. She wasn't out of the woods yet, guys. She still had to prove to me that she could not only be the kind of woman I wanted, she had to prove that she could maintain it. So over the next few months, guys, I put her through her fucking paces. I trained her. I corrected her bad behavior. I rewarded her good behavior. I taught her the concept of sequence and consequence. And I drilled it into her skull that my requirements were non-negotiable. The bottom line here, guys, is that a long-term relationship is simply a better life. But like I said earlier, I was not thinking LTR when I met Devin. She happened to be in the right place at the right time and got discovered by a man who happened to be in the beginning stages of transitioning to the next phase of his life, who knew how to turn her into the best woman she could be. Most guys who find the red pill hold on to the belief that true happiness involves a relationship with a woman, and that's simply not true. Yes, if you train a woman correctly, she has the potential to elevate your life. But women are far from necessary for a man's overall commitment. So many guys out here, they meet a girl they like, they start thinking about long-term relationships with her right from the start. And that's where they get tripped up. They start giving her all the time and attention that only a woman who earns it should enjoy. And at some point, she takes it for granted. She cheats on you and you're back to square one looking for that special girl. Red pill aware men know that women are a luxury and not a necessity. Purple pill and blue pill men still believe that women are a necessity. And because of this, they get caught up time and time again. And they continue to search because they still buy into that there's somebody for everybody myth, not knowing that quality women are made by red pill aware men, not born. Get thousands of hours of content not found anywhere on patreon.com/Donovan Sharp. Link in description.